Hello Oracles! Well, Tesla stock is down a little bit early, but the entire market is pulling down as well after a very hot start to the quarter. We saw two awesome days in the market to start this quarter off. So as we talked about last night, could be a little bit of profit taking today. We'll see how the day ends. Maybe there's profit taking early and then we go green. Again, nothing major in the news that has changed anything one way or the other. So to do a little bit of follow up on what the Twitter deal was going on with Elon, so seems like a lot of the discussion that we're having is Elon going to have to sell. So as I discussed last night, based upon what Gary Black had said, Elon's going to need to come up with just over $5 billion to cover the rest of the Twitter purchase. Don't know if it's going to be him, don't know if he has any funding backers for this. But if he does need to sell, we are in a blackout period, so he cannot sell until after Q3 earnings. Now, Rob Maurer did discuss that in a situation like this where they may need emergency funds for whatever, for financial obligations, he might be able to sell. I do not know for sure. I actually have not watched Rob's video, so thank you for those of you who shared his insights with me in the comments. But so again, this, when we look back at it, is just going to be a blip on the radar. If Elon has to sell some shares, not a big deal. This is going to be something we look back in 5 years. When you look at it, a long-term span, over a decade, little things like this aren't even noticed on the charts. Seriously, when you look back now, take a look at the spread of a chart over the last decade. You won't even notice a lot of the issues that were going on. I mean, heck, the 2018 situation with, some of the financial crisis that was going on at that short time frame, that's even barely noticeable. So really, take a look back and you won't even notice any of this on the charts. So when you're looking long term, this is what I'm focusing on. Now, Gary Black did mention that there's two stipulations right now going on. The one stipulation is the financing for the $13 billion, and the other stipulation is that Twitter needs to drop the litigation against Elon. So we'll see how this plays out. Twitter has not officially come out. They basically have come out and said they're figuring out what they want to do. We may end up seeing this deal close by Friday. Farzad all the time jokes around about, hey, Friday after close, book it. We're going to have this deal closed. Maybe that actually happens this week. So this week we may actually get the deal closed Friday after hours, but chances are we could see it happen this week. And now Elon did follow up over on Twitter discussing about how this is going to accelerate X, the everything app. And he said by buying Twitter, it's going to accelerate it by 3 to 5 years versus him just creating his own. So if he created his own, the big thing about Twitter is it does have a large follower base and there's a lot of people that are on there as users. So because there's a lot of users on there, it takes time to build that up. Sure, it's Elon, and I know when he starts a platform up, he's going to have a significant number of people going over there, but you got to remember a significant number of those people are going to be Tesla fans that are going to be going over there. So to have Twitter coming over as it is, there's a lot more people outside of the Tesla sphere that are going to be on the platform already as users. So this, I think, is what he means by how it's going to accelerate it. Because the platform and the base are already there. He doesn't need to take the time to build this up. Now, when it comes to the distraction, Eva McMillan over on Twitter, if you guys don't follow her, definitely do. She brought up a great point. Elon has 4 companies right now. He has built those 4 companies with the most amazing engineers and staff that is possible. This is why he has an awesome team, and he doesn't have to focus all of his energies there. He already has 4 companies. If he was going to be distracted, he would be distracted already. He clearly has proven that he's not because he has built up a team around him to run these things. He continuously touts his team all the time. When Tesla Q comes out and they says, Elon's distracted, but Elon can't do it all himself, it's like they're contradicting themselves. If Elon is the one who is going to cause the company to fail because he is doing it all himself, how could he possibly be distracted because he's not doing it all himself? Does not make sense. So, Eva, great point on that. So when Elon does take over Twitter, which is most likely going to end up happening, it sounds like he is going to build this team around him. He's already said himself he's most likely going to get a CEO put in place. He may be temporary CEO for like 3 to 6 months, but he'll get somebody else to take over. This is just not something he wants to do as far as being the CEO of that. He just wants to be the driver going forward. He doesn't even want to be the CEO of Tesla anymore, but he is doing so because he feels that he's the only one who can get the job done at the moment, and they are still building that strong team around him. So this is what is going on right now. He is not going to be distracted in my eyes, and we will see when it comes down to the numbers. If Tesla's numbers continue to go up, then it's going to clearly prove that this is not a distraction. And I think long term, this is actually going going to be a very good thing for Tesla and all the companies, and actually the entire world altogether, with freedom of speech, and as far as Tesla is concerned, this is going to be a great advertising platform for them because Tesla doesn't advertise, but think about what we all do as Tesla fans over on the platform already. If Elon now takes it over, it's just going to expand that. So very much looking forward to what Elon plans to do with Twitter. We should be finding out this week. And again, when it comes to his sales, if he does have to sell, I think it's going to be such a small blip on the radar. If you are being swayed by this one way or the other, that's very near-term thinking in my opinion. Look long-term. Long-term, 5-10 years down the road, whatever your holding time frame is for the stock, look down the road at that point. Do you think that this action going on right now is going to affect the stock 5 to 10 years down the road? If so, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm totally open to that. It's a possibility, but me personally, I do not think that is going to happen. And now looking at how the stock has reacted as well, being down about 1.8% at the time of this recording, looks like ARK did not buy yesterday, but Cathie Wood did come on TV, and she said that they are focusing on more high conviction stocks at the moment, which Tesla is included in that, which is why they bought the 132,000 shares the other day. So we'll continue to monitor this. ARK is looking to come back over to it. Looking at the charts, again, we still have this inverse head and shoulders pattern that is going on, but Abhishek and someone else had pointed out that if you look long term, and my charts weren't clean enough to show it, and I cleaned mine up to be able to see it, going back to the beginning of 2021, we actually have a head and shoulders pattern that has formed over that 2-year period. Now, a head and shoulders means we're usually switching from bullish to bearish sentiment. So this is just something to pay attention to. And going back to what Chicken Genius said about the stock coming down, we all have our different feelings on what is going on there. But from a strictly chart standpoint, looking at it, that could be a potential. Now, again, this is just from a chart standpoint. There's a lot of different things that I look at. Charts only tell us a piece of the picture. So just something, again, that is on my radar. Like I said, we have that gap down to 137, and I told you I wasn't going to mention it again, but because of this new information, I just wanted to put it back out there. So this is just something, again, on the radar and the back burner for myself, just something to pay attention to, and I will monitor this as we go forward. But I think in the near term, we could see some good positive catalysts coming because of everything that is going on with Q3 earnings and then the S&P upgrade to investor grade rating. So again, when it comes down to anything that goes on with the stock movements whatsoever, always pay attention to the fundamentals, because even Chicken Genius said himself, long term, the company is going to do well. It's just a near-term issue that could be going on. So just the things that I pay attention to, again, not spreading fear or FUD. I'm hugely bullish long term. I even am pretty bullish in the near term. Just things that I'm paying attention to. So wanted to throw that out there for you guys, and I will be doing a chart chat tomorrow evening. So Thursday evening, probably around 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll do that, and I'll be able to show you guys what I'm talking about right now. So I'll get that out there for you guys, discuss all of that, and we can share our thoughts with that. But again, even with that knowledge, I am still buying every single day because nobody knows what the future is going to bring. I buy every day, I save up cash, and then I will use that cash just in case we do pull down further. That's just my strategy, not financial advice, but it's worked out pretty well for me in the past. And all this pain that we have been feeling in the market all year long reminds me of my races. That's where I got all these medals from. I took all these races, and it's about how much in pain can you endure. And it's not about, how much pain can I endure like that, but the more pain you can endure and the more you can push through that and learn about yourself and how you handle that pain and keep on pushing to get stronger is going to show you who is going to succeed or not. I look at my ultra races. Ultra races for me, obstacle course races of over 30 miles with elevation gains that could be possibly higher than Mount Everest. Doing these races, you put one foot in front of the other. That is my dollar cost averaging every day, $25. I'm just putting one foot in front of the other. But I'm also on the other side being prepared and having some energy in reserve so that in case we get to some more tougher times, like higher mountains that I have to climb, maybe some obstacles that I need to face, I can utilize that energy reserve to be able to push through those obstacles and get through. And the people who end up falling out are the ones who cannot endure that pain. That is who is going to succeed. If you can come up with a game plan for yourself to endure whatever pain is in front of you. And now when you do these races, especially on the first lap or so, you do not know what to expect. You may see a course map, you may understand, but until you actually get out there, you don't know what to expect. You're totally blind to some things, and the course director may have thrown out there some surprises that you don't know about, very much like the Fed or the government or black swan events that come out that you don't know how to expect. This is how being an agile investor is going to be. This is how I have taught myself through my races, and I've taken that over to be investing. So I've taken the knowledge that I've learned from racing, I've moved it to investing, and that's the exact same thing that I'm doing here. Is I prepare myself by taking one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other, but also being ready for anything else that can come along. And I have braced myself and I have prepared myself to endure whatever pain is in front of us. And the pain is going to end. It's short-term pain. In the moment, it feels like it is taking forever. But I promise you, it will be over. And at the end, you will be so grateful you kept on pushing forward through all of this. There's a lot of different strategies. Again, you need to do your own due diligence for this. That's my strategy. But from all of my races, this is what I have learned. And it holds true for a lot of different things in our lives as well. So that is just my little bit of piece of wisdom for you guys. And hopefully it'll help you guys out. So looking forward at the stock today, again, RSI is still relatively low. We had great volume coming in yesterday. We'll see how we move today. Maybe we'll get some answers from Twitter that are going on for Tesla. So again, other than the Twitter deal thing going on, there's nothing specific for Tesla that we're going to get for information, most likely until Q3 earnings. We are still awaiting to hear what the next factory announcement is going to be. We know that we are most likely going to get that this year. I don't know if we're going to hear about it on Q3 earnings or shortly thereafter, but I have a feeling we are going to be hearing about it soon. That is going to be another positive catalyst for the stock. So we'll see that moving forward. And then I'm still awaiting the ordering page coming up for the Cybertruck so we can see the actual official pricing for that. And then who knows if we're going to hear about the robotaxi information coming up as well. So a lot of great positive catalysts coming up. So again, whichever way the stock is going to move, remind yourself always, what is your term when you're going to be holding the stock? If it's 5 and 10 years, whatever happens in the next even year, thinking about the macro environment, because anything that's going to happen to the stock most likely is going to be macro involved. The company itself is doing extremely well. So if the stock does pull down, it's most likely because everything is pulling down. And always compare it to the macro around it. Because if the entire macro is pulling down and Tesla pulls down with it, it's not really Tesla specific, but you got to pay attention. That's why I have the 4 things that I pay attention to, which is going to be the fundamentals of the company, the sentiment and the news around the company, the macro environment, and then the charts. Those 4 things I put together to come up with my formula for how I'm going to invest. And long term, all 4 of those things look extremely strong. And in some other Tesla specific news, sounds like Tesla is going to be getting away from their ultrasonic sensors when it comes to FSD and going strictly with Tesla Vision. We still have no word yet on hardware 4. I guess Omar at Holmar's catalog had asked Elon after AI Day what was going on, and Elon said, "If I told you, I'd have to kill you." So we shall see what goes on when it comes to hardware 4. I don't know if this is them transitioning over to that and they're going to be upgrading the cameras. Again, we shall see, but it looks like they are moving away from the ultrasonic sensors, which to me tells me they feel even more comfortable about their progress when it comes to FSD. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. When do you think this Twitter deal is going to close? Do you think Twitter is going to go along with it and accept this, seeing as Twitter has said, no, we don't want you to buy it. Yes, we want you to buy it. Now we're going to force you to buy it. Let me know your thoughts on that, when you think it's going to happen. And again, I know we had a lot of discussions about how distracted Elon could potentially be. Do you think it truly is going to be a distraction? And if you look out 5 to 10 years, do you think this is actually going to be a beneficial thing for Tesla and the entire world? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat, that link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon, that link is also in the description. Thank you so much, have a great one.